So it's going to be epiphanies, it's going to be breakthroughs. But remember, sometimes when things get brought back into balance, we need a little shake-up to shift that scale. Even if we're focusing on what's happening, the breakdown, like, welcoming in the tower energy. Like, even if you're welcoming in the tower energy, focusing on that tower that's collapsing is still giving that tower energy power. Look it, because the tower is next here. You're not focusing your energy on that tower. You're focusing on this radiant peacock that's over here. And I gotta look up. Hi everyone, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot Collective Tarot for the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. This is a big one. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I love doing collective tarot, especially as we enter the Aquarian age, because it's important for us to understand not only the personal energy that we hold within us, but that energy that's within the collective unconscious, okay? And with powerful energy that comes with a new moon, a full moon, an eclipse, it's really important that we hone in on that collective energy that we can all tap into to help raise the vibration of the collective, okay? So this is obviously a big one. Feel free to skip ahead to the tarot spread. I am gonna put a timestamp for that, but I just wanna give a little recap about the energy leading up to this new moon solar eclipse and then the energy that's following after. And then also too, you can head to the April 2024 extended. I do a recap on there, and then I also have the link to the timeline of the astrological transits in each one of those monthly readings. So you can also go to that and then reference more of the details of it. So we are in Mercury retrograde in Aries during this eclipse. So this eclipse itself, a huge energy boost. If you've been feeling the weight of this energy around us, it's like a lot like February, where there's just so much going on. It's hard to keep our balance even. You know what I mean? Like, you can physically feel off kilter from all of this energy. And remember too, there's all those solar flares happening right now. And this new moon solar eclipse though, this is ushering in big change, big personal breakthroughs, collective breakthroughs, personal shakeups, collective shakeups, and it's intense energy though that's meant for healing. Okay, so these epiphanies that we have, these are those light bulb moments, right? If you've been feeling in the dark, like, you want to have that light bulb moment. But the most important thing too is that fire, like, that we stay on the high vibration, that we don't let the fear mongering get the best of us, okay? Because this is given like Y2K vibes in some areas of social media and the internet. But I really want you to see how this is a personal and collective karmic completion that comes with this eclipse. This is the wiping that slate clean, tabula rasa. Like, we are ready to enter this age with the knowledge that we have from all the lessons we've learned. Also too, with the energy of our Saturn lessons. Okay, so remember, Saturn and Pisces went direct November 2023, November 4th. And all of us in our own ways, in our own areas of our houses of astrology, have been building resilience. And that resilience is then combined with the Pluto and Aquarius going direct. And again, transformation, personal and collective. So while I was clearing the cards, there was a big emphasis on wiping the slate clean with lessons and blessings. So again, from those lessons, we're open to receiving these blessings, okay? And that's there's an epiphany here of something related to your Saturn, related to your blocks, your fears, your limitations, an epiphany that happens, and then it's off to the races, okay? So yes, is this powerful? Yes, can it feel a little uneasy? Can it feel like our world literally feels like I got Fresh Prince of Bel-Air twist turned upside down? Yes. And so we just want to be mindful of like all of this, if we can stand that vibration, if we can believe in the Aquarian age coming through, that all of this is here to, like, it's walking through the portal of this next dimension, okay? So I hope you're as excited as I am. Obviously too, like, your subconscious can, play tricks on you, your shadow can play tricks on you, but these life changes are meant to help us personally and collectively. The other thing too is always, you know, stay on gratitude is the right attitude. And if you are in a place of where you have, you know, more than other people, and you know, instead of seeing the doom and gloom aspect, like see how your vibration like can help other people to lift their vibration. Okay, like this is meant to like us uplifting each other, not pulling ourselves down. So that was something too that came in. And then too, like just the faith that your ships are coming in personally and collectively. So again, that Mercury retrograde in Aries, that can be where we see those outbursts, that reactionary behavior, the reactionary communication. And we just want to give a little bit of grace, okay? So as much as you can, like I was saying during the April 2024, is like little Nikki send back love, okay? And not in a way of ignoring an issue, like literally visualize yourself transmuting, transforming that energy by sending back love. And you don't have to send it back in a way of like, I need this person to feel this. You just send it and you're done. I had a reading once with a channeler and they told me, you know, you are like a FedEx driver. You're meant to drop the package off. The FedEx driver doesn't sit there and wait for the person to get home, wait for them to open the package and see their reaction. They do their job and they're done. And so that's really what I want you to see with the energetic exchange right now is don't get too attached, because that's also very important. So we also then to April 10th, 2 days after this eclipse, we have Mars in Pisces conjunct Saturn in Pisces, okay? And this is that little bit of courage to go after what we want without fear. So again, we have these epiphanies, and then all of a sudden we have that encouragement from our higher self that's saying, hey, what do you got to lose? Put yourself out there, okay? So whatever that is for you, make sure you remember nothing ventured, nothing gained. This is your time to be bold, all right? And just make sure that like you visualize what's the vibration you feel when you do these things, because it's the vibration that matters, not the things, all right? Or the people. It's the feeling. So hold on to that loving feeling, okay? All right, and so then April 11th, we have Saturn in Aries conjunct Mercury in Aries. And this is a good time where we are going to need to be mindful of that Mercury in Aries retrograde, because this is a time of like compromising and seeing teamwork. This is the Aquarian age of us collective, right? That collective rising together. All right. So be mindful of that, because again, you're going to have miscommunication. You're going to have these breakdowns and all of this stuff. But with it, on the other side of the coin is breakthroughs. Okay. So be on the lightning bolt of change. Do not be attached to the Capricorn paradigm. Accept the change that's coming in for you, because it's magical. And then remember, by April 20th, like that's the big one, right? That rare aspect that only happens every 12 years. And it's Jupiter in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Those planets went direct December and January. And you have to see where your life you've been focusing on expanding. Where in your life have you been putting that little effort in every day? The power of patience, okay? Because this is that rare aspect where when you do that and you learn those lessons and you move past the blocks, the fears, limitations, that's that boom, here you go, like opportunities where you didn't even expect it to come from, okay? So I'm very excited. Please hold on to the lessons and blessings aspect of this. And like, remember, get out of your head personally and see it as the collective. And the more of us that can have that welcoming energy of the shifts coming in and the things that might seem not feasible in our 3D world, like you just... It's about bracing, okay? So like I said, I get that judgment, you know, the people rising up. It's like, it's rapture energy, really, but not literal, okay? It's figurative. So, or might be literal, I guess, I don't know. I can't say for sure, you know? But also, too, when it comes to our dreams, right? And manifesting our dreams and just feeling this emotional completion. It really does come from an epiphany and aha when it comes to the power of patience and the connection of like, what is time? You know what I mean? Time doesn't matter. It's the feeling that matters. So yeah, I'm just so unbelievably excited. And I think, oh, also too, like prepare for the thing. Like, so if things feel different or uncomfortable, like you have to go to Pam Gregory and Heather Ensworth. They have amazing astrology videos to kind of explain the the physical and the mental associations connected with this energy that we're getting bombarded with, okay? But yeah, you know what? Let's just get into it. Let's see what we got for the collective for the new moon solar eclipse. All right. Also, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment if it resonates in a certain way, subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot, and share with somebody you think this reading might resonate with or who needs to hear this, okay? Okay. And then remember, too, I mean, once we get to May, my goodness. My goodness, yeah, that's the vitality we need. And I do get this sense with the energy of seeing ourselves, our connections with one another. There's been so much on the divide, the polarization, the yin and the yang, and like, this is the point, actually, this is a good point too. Real quick, at the end of the month, I mentioned this in the monthlies, but we have April 30th, Mars enters Aries, and then on the same day, Venus in Taurus squares Pluto in Aquarius. And so, like I said, the ram's butting head, like, there's this concept of, in our paradigm, of men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And this isn't about like gender identity, however you identify, but just the idea of divine masculine, divine feminine, and like they're separate. But it's the yin and the yang. They're the two halves of a circle, right? And they coexist together. And so that's that concept of we all have divine feminine and divine masculine within us. And we give too much, like that's where the shadow comes in, and we reject certain things about ourselves because we've been taught to feel guilt, shame, or fear or embarrassment because of an area of, or an aspect of ourselves that we're told isn't natural or whatever it is. So whatever that is for you, just know at the end of the month, we want to embrace that we all have the yin and the yang within us, and collectively, they're meant to work together, not against each other. Okay, so that was a big one. So I had to mention that. Amazing. Yeah, clearly. So obviously, major energy coming through with this eclipse. Okay. It'll be interesting to see the clarification at that. All right, overall energy for this new moon solar eclipse in Aries on April 8th. This is no surprise to me. What was I just saying about the yin and the yang? So remember, this is a setup. So you have to also be like, yes, be in the here and now, but make sure that you understand, like with any story, with story arcs, there's a setup that leads to something, right? So the overall energy of this eclipse we have to keep in mind is justice, bringing things back into balance, clarity. One side of the scales, let's say the shadow aspect of, the Mars energy, that like, aggressive warrior energy. The shadow side of that has been taking the lead too much. And so we need to bring that bit back into balance. And sometimes, we might be a little off kiltered if we've been leaning too far on one side, right? Personally, collectively, to be shifted back to where we need to be. So justice is ruled by Libra, and this can be related to legal matters. I also get the energy of, this idea of us turning a blind eye to things, and then these things get put into right in front of us for us to face. And so, like I said, the more of us that personally have done that shadow work, I've been talking about this in summer, like personal shadow work helps the collective, because the more of us that do it, the more the collective energy has to heal and clear that shadow energy. This is about responsibility. It's about fairness. It's about cause and effect, okay? So the more that you personally can focus on your life being in balance during this eclipse, because remember, all of us have our personal responsibilities in this. So the more that you can focus on the days leading up to, the days after, and then honestly, just from there on out, your life, know thyself, nothing in excess. That is what the Delphic Oracle said is the key to life, the secret to life. The better off we'll be collectively. So please just take time to write down the things that you don't think are in balance. What are the things that need to be brought into balance into your life? And what can you do to work on that every day? Okay, so again, if you're not getting enough sleep, making a point to put your phone down an hour before you go to bed. You're feeling sluggish, making sure you make a point to take a walk every day. Like there's just things here where it's little things that can make a big difference. okay? But this is clearly collectively a big energy of bringing things back into balance. So it's going to be epiphanies, it's going to be breakthroughs. But remember, sometimes when things get brought back into balance, we need a little shake up to shift that scale, okay? And yes, this is what I love. Okay, so what we need more of collectively is the Nine of Coins. This is Venus in Virgo. And so we do really want to focus on the beauty, okay? We want to focus on the beauty in everything, even if it's pain, like even if there's lessons from your past that felt painful, what beauty has come from it? There's something here. This is also that little Nikki energy I was telling you about. So like when we do get that shadow paradigm, like you send it back love, but you don't even send it back love. You just radiate love. Because that's another mindful thing is, even if we're focusing on what's happening, the breakdown, like, you know, welcoming in the tower energy, like even if you're welcoming in the tower energy, focusing on that tower that's collapsing is still giving that tower energy power. So this is where we really want to, like, we are in the new age. What is Pam Garger says, you know, stay on your eagle's perch, right? You are just an observer of this, and your focus is on where you're heading, right? You stay focused on the beauty, okay? You know what's so funny? Look it, because the tower is next here. You're not focusing your energy on that tower. You're focusing on this radiant peacock that's over here. And I got to look up the peacock symbolism too quick, because I know there's some really powerful symbolism to peacock. So hold on a second here. Hello. Okay, so the peacock has been depicted in art since ancient times and is a symbol of beauty, rebirth, wealth. Okay, and so it's as well as sinful pride, but that's not what this energy is. So beauty, rebirth, and wealth. All right. And again, this bringing back to balance is also bringing wealth back into balance. I mean, look at, again, collectively, this idea of 1% of society owning 90% of everything is bonkers. And so this is this energy of things are being put back into balance, and we can't have fear about it. Even if you are in the higher, you know, percent of that, it's this idea of what is meant to be best is going to happen, okay? Because I'm focusing on what's best for everybody collectively, and what's best for the collective is best for me personally, because we all deserve to shine. We all deserve to have wealth. We all deserve to have beauty, okay? But the rebirth aspect, biggest part of this, Pluto and Aquarius, rebirth. Pluto is all about rebirth and regeneration. All right, revolution, evolution. So we want to focus on the evolution so that we don't have chaotic revolution. All right, the situation, what we need is the tower. And so this is energy that we collectively are fated to have at this time. This is ruled by Mars, all right? So sudden change, shakeups, it's literally everything that is this new moon solar eclipse, all right? The tower is the card that explains this eclipse, so it makes perfect sense that it's in this area. But like I said, where are you focusing your energy? You focus it in this direction, and just let the divine intervention like take place, okay? And not in a sense of giving up your personal power, because you have to remember your personal power comes from your responsibility to keep your life in balance, bring it into balance, accept the light and the shadow. That's the biggest aspect. If you haven't done shadow work, this is the time, all right? Like, wonderful time to get that shadow work journal that's in my link tree, because doing an entry of that, if everybody did an entry of that on that day or the days leading up to, huge. All right, there's so much that we hold on to personally that if we see how us clearing it, embracing it, releasing it, all of these aspects, that we change the shadow of the collective as well. Fascinating to see the strength card here. This is ruled by Leo. There is this idea of we want to be really bold. okay? You can be bold and just be mindful of Mercury retrograde in Aries, all right? And so again, that's where that healed shadow comes in, because when we do have that mindfulness, we're not so quick to react to reactionary behavior or reactionary communication, all right? So just be mindful of that, you also want to let your shadow know it's safe, okay? And so this is where, like, I kind of get this idea that, like, if you can take some time by yourself, if things do bubble up from your shadow energy, from your subconscious, right? Let it be expressed in some way. Like, it can be, I'm getting, you know, it's like taking paint and like just expressing like all of that rage and like frustration, but channeling it into art, singing, you know, whatever it is, writing. Like, oh, this is actually a great one. All your frustrations, all of whatever is pent up, let your shadow speak it onto paper, whatever it is, the darkest things you could possibly think of that are in there, and release it, look over it, and then burn it, okay? Like, you're meant to purge something. And so collectively, we're meant to purge something so that we can get rid of these blocks, these fears, these limitations. All right, Knight of Wands. Okay, so this is impulsive energy. So I do want you to be mindful, because even though this is ruled by Scorpio, it is ruled by fire. And this is about seeking out experiences that make you feel alive. So if you feel these blocks, these limitations, if you feel like you're too focused again on the Capricorn paradigm ending and not enough on this beautiful Aquarian age beauty, you're the only one who can get out there and experience life. Like, you can't make excuses for not seeking out experiences like this, all right? This is the time to focus on the impulsive energy that comes with this toward what makes you feel at your highest vibration, okay? So it is like, if there's something calling to you and it's part of this passion, like, you can change that and not make excuses. That's really what this card is saying. What you need to accept, Page of Coins. Okay, so patience. So this is, again, what I was saying about how, like, this is ushering in something, but we can't have the expectation of the when. But remember, you're gonna see glimpses. We're gonna have that epiphany, and we're gonna have these opportunities open up to us. But if it doesn't happen tomorrow, we can't give that our shadow the satisfaction of it pulling us down and see, wasn't meant to be. Keep going in this cycle, personally and collectively, that we're going in, okay? You have to hold on to faith. You have to hold on to that belief, but you have to deal with it in a way that you don't let your shadow play tricks on you. But this is also ruled by spring, okay? And so this is an idea of whatever we are personally and collectively growing, whether this be related to our finances or something that we emotionally or physically want a refresh on. There's this innocence to it where we can have the innocence and dreamlike energy from our inner child with the practicality and responsibility of what we've learned throughout the years. Okay, the Hermit. This is so cool. So the Hermit is in the outcome for this eclipse. And so this eclipse, the epiphanies, those epiphanies are going to drive us deep down into the well of the untapped collective unconscious. This is the energy that many of us are going to be getting downloads where we're like, whoa, that's a game changer. And not just personally, but collectively, okay? So please, when you do have that opportunity, actually, this is smart now, because this is what you can change. So if you're impulsive to the energy of like needing to get out there with the collective, like, I'm getting this sense of like, we got to channel this energy into here, okay? So channel this into here. But remember too, Scorpio, death, rebirth, like all of this is very structurally connected to everything that is bringing our life back into balance. So we gotta just have time with everything going through. We have our personal responsibility to the collective, to whatever we're channeling, whatever comes through, whatever thoughts that we go deep down in within. And like I said, that purging needs to come, and it's going to be healing, and it's going to activate some light force within you that is very, very powerful. So I am so unbelievably excited for this collective reading. And clearly it is the collective because there's so much major arcana. So let's see what let's see what collective past life energy is affecting us all for new moon solar eclipse in Aries, April 8th, 2024. Lessons and blessings. So lessons and blessings, when I was clearing these, like, popped out. Okay. And so, like I said, you got to understand, like, I'm getting silver lining, because then I think too, like when the eclipse happens and, you know, you have that beautiful little lining, that golden lining. Oh, and Midas. So actually, this is a good connection. So Midas came out too. And so we don't have a silver lining. We have a golden lining, don't we? And so that golden lining, when we see that eclipse, we get the chills of, like, yeah, this is the shift. We all get activated, that Midas touch, and we all have, like, amazing powers to change the collective. Those of us who see the injustice, those of us who see this is not right, but we're getting downloads on how to do it differently. Okay, like TikTok, for instance. You know what I mean? The power of TikTok. Clearly, TikTok has a lot of power. Also, Farm was on the bottom a couple times, so I just felt like I had to point that out. But it's this idea of, like, we're starting to see how we shift these things outside of how the old paradigm works. Okay, so that's where a lot of those epiphanies, like I said, oh yeah, clearly, where a lot of those epiphanies are coming through is we're understanding that it's not the 3D aspect of it as much as it is the internal, building this light up, activating this light, and then, like, all of a sudden all the lights connect together and it's whoosh, like, life-changing. So knighthood, perfect sense for this. Let's read the full description. All right, now remember, this is collective energy. Last new moon, the Pisces new moon, it was biblical and it was huge, okay? And so this clearly is too, when it comes to collective energy of how the Capricorn paradigm works. Knighthood is a big, big part of that. Once a knight, always a knight. You receive this card as validation of your inner knighthood. And interesting that we have the Knight of Wands. Whether you're a man or a woman in this life, you have the heart and mind of a knight. Most likely, you've long had a fascination with tales and images of knights. You may collect knight figurines, decorate with knight-related artwork, and even dress up as a knight during costume parties. In relationships and careers, you're drawn to defend those who are weak or vulnerable. See, like this desire to put things back into balance. You may choose a profession that puts you into a guardian or protector role. It's essential that you only work for organizations that you fully believe in. As a knight, you're loyal to those who earn your respect. Otherwise, you're not happy. So that is this idea too with this, like this impulsive, because this is like teenage energy. The knights are like equivalent to an adolescent teenager and impulsiveness. Okay, so there is this connection to guilt, fear, and shame that comes with putting ourselves first. Like, you know, an equation to selfishness, and it can stem from this collective knighthood energy of, like, you're of service to the king, you're the service of the queen, not yourself. You know what I mean? This idea of being like secondary or like at the bottom of the pyramid, you know, and again, that's part of what is getting cleared away. This idea of who gets to have and who doesn't, and who's making those decisions. All of this is related to that collective energy. So what a perfect card to get. Okay, let's get an empowering question. What empowering question is going to help the collective embrace the breakthroughs, shakeups, and clearing energy of the new moon solar eclipse in Aries? Perfect. I love this. What is the worst that could happen if I let go of the things that no longer serve me? So part of bringing this into balance, so if the light or the shadow, let's say, if one of the scales, sides of the scale, is off balance, there's too much weight, there's something that you can take off of that scale to bring it into balance. So remember, personally and collectively, what are things of excess on a certain side of the scale that we need to dump, you know? So like, you know, here in the US, like the checks and balances, how things work, like there's certain things where it's really leaning heavy when it comes to the benefits some people get versus other people, you know what I mean? And so this is again, but personally, what is something that you can let go of? It can be physically, it can be energetically, okay? Remember, releasing with all that, any pent up energy, whether it be rage, frustration, remember, channel it into creativity and not violence, because you have to remember that Mars energy, you know, when it feels threatened, that it can show in a very interesting way, okay? All right, so now let's see what archetypal energy. That was really quick. Okay. Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay. Whoa, wow, you actually got 4. I mean, this makes sense. So this can either be you or somebody in your life, but like this is collective. So all of us, there's dynamics of all of these energies for this eclipse, okay? All right, alchemist, light attributes, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. There's that golden again. Shadow attribute, misuse of the power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. Okay, so that's again that mindful energy of being attached to lightning bolt of change and not the tower energy. And that loyalty, like your loyalty to yourself is knowing that you living your best life is helping the collective vibration. Okay. Ooh, Avenger, I like this. Light attributes, desire to balance the scales, yes, of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Shadow attributes, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. What did I just say? You have to be mindful of that Aries energy, all right? That's shadow, the violence, the destruction is shadow-based energy. And so that Avenger energy, if you are aligned with this, we're bringing these scales back into balance. We're getting rid of the weight personally that's holding us back and shining that light at its highest vibration. So remember, there are things that we have all personally been scared to put out there that we have to just, it's too heavy, all right? If there's something you're passionate about and you're not, even if it's 5 minutes a day, if you're not working towards it, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're not being loyal to yourself. And that loyalty to yourself, again, is for the collective. Martyr, yeah. Okay, light attribute. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. And then there's that that victim energy that is a shadow side of so many of us too, especially water signs, even though this is in the air with Aquarian energy. There's liberation that comes from us understanding that we're all doing our personal part, but that martyrdom doesn't have to be sacrifice. That's where we need to transform what that actually, you know, that martyrdom in the old paradigm is not of service to anyone, but we can look back at the evolution of that, right? And how we're coming to where we are. Oh, I love this. All right, eternal child, light attributes, determination to remain in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Shadow attributes, inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. This, I think too, for us personally, we all need to embrace this more and stay grounded. Get out in nature as much as you can. If you're feeling like off kilter or thrown off in any sense, just get, even if it's like to just 5 minutes to ground yourself and feel the breeze on your face, even though it's like a blizzard here somehow in April and it's super windy, it can snap you back into the energy you need. So this is, yeah, like clearly a very important message for all of us and a very like centralized message of what we need to do personally and collectively. So let's get some dragon energy. So you're the dragon. So let's see what dragon energy is clearly connected to that past life energy. Okay, we got 2. Thor's red, black, and gold dragon. I love that connected to this Knight of Wands and with that gold. Oh, perfect. Protects you in time of change. So this is very important, okay? Because remember, this is all about change for us personally and collectively. A time of rapid transition and transformation. Relax. You are safe. So if ever you're not feeling safe, say relax. You are safe. Relax. I am safe, okay? And reference back this card if you need to. And visualize it, all right? White gold dragon from Lyra connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your casual chakra. Bathe in ninth dimensional Christ light. All right, so you are safe, and this is bringing us up to that vibration, all right? Amazing. Okay, so let's see what crystal energy is going to help us personally and collectively feel safe during this powerful time of transformation. All right, what crystal energy is going to help the collective through this powerful transformation with the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, April 8th? Okay. All right, you got two, and they're, I'm starting to realize my age of like when I bend down. I don't know if you've ever seen, there's this video of a little kid and they're bending down, and the parent writes like, oh, my kid's starting to mimic me, and it's like, oh, every time they get up and the little kid starts mimicking with that. Anyways, all right, you got two. So if you can pick these up and have them with you during the time of the eclipse, it's going to be very helpful and beneficial. How light, spiritual beginning. So remember, this is like, I'm getting, you know, wiping the slate clean, okay? So also too, like, you know, CERN is getting booted up again with the solar eclipse. And the last time CERN was booted up, there was a lot of shifts, like Mandela effect stuff that happened. Okay, so spiritual beginning, I really am getting a very strong energy of that. And this one I love. Amazonite or Amazonite, however you say that, the middle of the road. This one, I think, like I said, this is probably the most important for us to, with the scales of balance in our lives. The middle road, all right? We want to focus on the middle road, because the divine feminine, divine masculine, like it's going to be a rocky ride, and we just have to focus on, we all have the yin and the yang within us, all right? So we are going to do one clarifier for the collective, and then I'm going to close this out. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Again, please don't forget to hit that like button, comment if it resonates in a certain way, share with somebody who needs to hear this message for the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. And let's see, what clarifier do we got for the collective for this month? Amazing. All right. Yeah, cool. I mean, so we got Death card and we got Ace of Swords. So I really want to touch on this Death card for a second too, because I want you to focus in on it and see this eclipse. This is also Scorpio, remember. This is the Tower energy, right? But it's with the visual of this card, it's bringing the balance back. And look at, you see those two towers there with the sun? That's what's coming in. So what I said, we can't focus too much on the specifics of the vibration of what we're in, but what it's bringing to us. So like I said, think about sort of like, watch some media too, where that it has story arcs where like you don't see what's coming, and then what comes is glorious. Okay. Also too, like that's actually a wonderful album to listen to, Muses, Black Holes, and Revelations. Wonderful story arc throughout that. And I actually wrote a script to it that is very similar to events that are happening, like specifics of events that are happening. And there is just a beautiful story arc of the beauty that comes from unearthing that shadow energy and stepping into this beautiful collective light, okay? We're all meant to shine, just remember that. And then again, what's coming with this shakeups, breakthroughs is the Ace of Swords, determination, prepared to move forward, right? Don't be scared of new ideas, all right? Let's just collectively align ourselves with the greater good for all of us. So again, thank you so much for joining me. And as always, shine your inner light. We've got this.